Welcome back to AFL Supercoach. 5 days to go until round 0, I think it is. 2 more practice games to go tomorrow, and there was 2 today, which I'll review. Had St Kilda and the Bombers, and the Dockers and Crom. So yeah, I'll try and get through them as quick as I can. But I got to say, the St Kilda and Essendon game was pretty entertaining, considering both of them were bottom 10 teams last year. And you'd expect the Crom Fremantle one to be a better game, but the wind was really bad, so it was a bit of a scrappy game, and yeah, not real good to watch. Certainly not from a neutral point of view, I'm guessing. Now, I didn't see anything in these 2 games either that's really swayed me one way or another on many players. Maybe a couple of rookies, but nothing too crazy, and I will get to that later. But I'm really trying to hold firm at the moment, because this time last year I was making wholesale changes and stuff to my team, and I don't want to be doing that. As I explained in the last video, you want to be backing in your research and stuff. These games are bait. They're not the real thing. Just remember that. That's how you end up with Perryman and Short. So yeah, you'd want to be getting your ducks in a row now that we're 5 days out from round 0. I know obviously you got to round 1, but yeah, the earlier the better, I think. You'd want to know your primos at least, and your structure that you're trying to go for, that kind of thing, your strategy. I know rookies determine structure and stuff, but yeah, you should have a fair idea by now. Otherwise, I think you're going to be pretty stressed out on that first lockout. But yeah, I'll get into the reviews now. So as I said, this game was pretty good with the Saints and Essendon from a neutral point of view. Nas was amazing, and I was surprised that he only scored 142. I guess disposal efficiency was down a little bit in the first half, which might have hurt him, but yeah, to finish at 28 disposals and 4 goals is pretty crazy. Nearly 850 metres gained, so he was huge. I don't agree with people, well, maybe I did to begin with, but I don't now, that he's going to find it hard with tags and stuff. The guy looks untaggable. Like, he's so quick and he's so fit. He just runs everywhere. And there's one built-in safety aspect that is in this pick, I think, that a lot of other players, or pretty much every other player, doesn't have. You have the entire team trying to pass the guy the ball. It's like Dacos, certainly a few years ago, but even more so. Like, they just look for him at every opportunity, and I think Ross has even instructed them to do it. Like, you want him kicking the ball. He's running back and taking kick-ins, he's kicking goals. I know that might hurt him being at full forward and stuff, but if they can get him one out in the cage, like, you'd be shitting yourself as a defender, because yeah, he's pretty crafty. I know that I said these games didn't really sway anything for me one way or the other, but you'd certainly be a little bit more confident in the Nas pick after today. So yeah, I don't see him leaving my team. It's really just that thing of the whole team feeding him the ball. As I said, you're not going to get that with many other players. Windhager, 41 disposals and 11 contested possessions. That's pretty good in a trial match, but yeah, I think it's bait. Like, he has had games in the past where he's looked really good when he's played in the midfield and not been tagging, but can't trust that at all. Sinclair looked really good. He's just going to pick it up across half back by the look of it. It was a bit quiet early, I thought, but yeah, as the game went on, he really picked it up. So you pick him with confidence. I don't think there's anything really wrong with going Nas and Sinclair together. Just depends who else you've got in that buy. I think it's just them and the Giants, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So, I mean, if you don't have any Giants players, you could probably get away with that one. If you've got good cover in the back line there. But yeah, I think Sinclair's going to do really well. We know what he's like when he's off the half back, and he doesn't have to worry about midfield time, it looks like. So yeah, confident with that pick as well. He's not on my team currently, but he definitely could end up in there. Owens, yeah, he was alright. Not really a pick. He's not got the role. DeConning did well, but you got to remember he was up against Blackston, who I'll get to later. Bit of interesting stuff with him. I can't see the DeConning and Marshall thing working how we want it to. They'll probably both score well, but not well enough in that split role. And yeah, Marshall's obviously the better forward, I think, but is it going to be enough? Probably not. Flanders just picking it up, 27 disposals. You barely notice him. He just gets so much like, not cheap ball. I don't know how to explain it, but just, I don't know, like, it doesn't stand out, but that's fine. Like, I don't care. It gets points, and everyone's got him, so not much to say there. Just lock him in with confidence. He's not the one that I'd be betting against. McRae was alright, did what he does. Don't think he's a pick this year. He's slowing down and stuff. He's not going to be the main man in that midfield. Philippou, though, he looked really good. I think, 85 Supercoach. At his price, he doesn't even need to score nearly that much to be successful. 16 contested possessions. Just let him down with the disposal efficiency here, which, if you scroll across, was 66%. So, the only thing I don't like about this website is that you can't see it all on the one screen. But, yeah, Philippou looked great. The role is there. That's what we wanted to see, because who gives a shit really about the scoring in these practice games? It's about the role and the potential for what they might score. So, yep, good signs there for St Kilda players. I don't think there was too much else for them that's relevant. Carroll, he ended up on 60 in the end, 17 touches. It looks all right. It looks like they're going to persist with him in that half-back role alongside Sinclair, but it's pretty hard to get a ton of the ball when Sinclair's clearly the man back there, and everyone else is looking to give it to Nas. So, yeah, Carroll should be all right. If he goes at 60, it's fine. He'll make enough money. Just got to keep his spot in the team and keep that role. Max Hall, really quiet. Did he not play the whole game? I didn't really notice him. What did he do? No, he played the whole game. Okay, that's weird. He'd been killing it up to that point. 15 touches, 2 behinds. This is why I said last week, he's not going to kick 4 goals every week or anything. And we saw end of last year, he was doing well in that extra midfield role coming up from the half forward that Janeth ended up identifying. But, it's not reliable enough, I think, to be a pick. Certainly not at his price. I think that's it for St Kilda. So, Essendon. So they look to be moving the ball really quickly, like Melbourne as well. I wonder if that's a league-wide thing now for maybe more so the bottom teams are trying to exploit the rules, like the quicker game, so they're trying to get it moving quicker or something. They look to be playing on just, when they didn't have to, and sometimes it looks good, but as I said with Melbourne, they leave themselves open to turnover a lot by doing it. So you're going to get quite a few clangers and disposal problems that's going to impact Supercoach scoring. So be aware of that, but shouldn't affect everyone, not all their players. Johnson, 102. So where's that come from? I didn't even notice him really. Was he taking kick-ins or something? I watched the whole game, obviously, but yeah, wow, 24 disposals. He didn't score like that last year when we had him as a rookie. Roberts looked all right in the midfield. Yeah, he's got the role that you'd want. Is he going to break out properly, into a full primo? I don't know. Essendon's got a lot of midfielders, and Roberts probably... I just suspect he might be one of those that's actually better off the half-back in that pig kind of... the seagull kind of role. Yeah, wait and see on that one. Definitely looks good, though. McGrath played defence and still scored well. He can do that. Don't get fooled. Usually likes to do that in pre-season. He has to be in midfield to be a viable pick, and it looks like he's not. Caldwell was a bit quiet. I think he had 74% tog. That's not too bad, actually. For him, that's pretty standard, I think. So maybe a little bit down. That's all right. He's got the role as well. It's all we're looking for. If you want to pick him, really, the only question is his body. That goes with a lot of players, really, especially discounted ones. I thought Redman was disappointing. He had a bit of a purple patch at the end of last year, and I thought he might continue it on. Maybe he is one of those senior players that isn't really going at 100% in these practice games, but I don't know. I expected a bit more. I thought he might be like their distributor, but it looks like they're splitting it a bit. Merritt was quiet as well. I guess you can't read too much into it. So now... get to Blackston. A lot of people were getting excited about him, but I wasn't sold at all, and certainly not at his price. So this is going to be unpopular opinion, like in last night's video when I said that Darcy was slightly overrated. He's not the best forward in the AFL, and I enjoyed copping the dislikes on the video for that as well. Love a good controversial opinion. But this is the thing that stood out for me with Blackston. So this is really good on this page. We can look at the quarter by quarter scores. So first quarter he scored 46 and 41 fantasy points. Now he had the 2 rundown tackles, which I noticed at the time, like watching it live. That inflated his score big time. Now when is a ruckman going to get 2 rundown tackles in any quarter? Like, you never see it, okay? So first off, like, yeah, it looked really good, and I was even thinking, like, how do I get him in my team? This looks great. So keep that in mind. He scored 46 in the first quarter. He's then scored 14 in the next 2 quarters, because he's not really like the cleanest player. Don't get me wrong, like he's got great potential and stuff, and he's only just starting out. There's a good player there, but I'm just talking about in terms of Supercoach, like how it translates. And then in the last quarter, he did a bit better. He got an 18. So really, it was all coming from one quarter, and that was when he got the rundown tackles and stuff. And we know that points are weighted heavier for the start of the game, generally, anyway. So that's a worry that it all kind of come in one quarter. I think it's pretty safe to say that when he's had that one blue moon quarter, you look at the others here, that's not enough at his price. You got these 3 quiet quarters, or quieter quarters, if you count the 4th one. I don't think it's there. Like, I don't think it's a pick. You tell me I'm wrong. I'm happy to hear reasons why, but I mean, he's like 300k. You're going to need him to get above 80, I reckon, just off the top of my head, to be a successful pick, to make you like enough money. When there's good rookies floating around, it's hard to justify. Yeah, he's got the role and stuff, but I don't actually, after looking into it more, I don't believe this belief as a common belief that ruckman, no matter how bad they are, they kind of just walk in 80 averages. It's not true. Go have a look at a lot of the new ruckman from last year. Sure, they get dunked on and scored on easy, but they're not scoring great themselves. Only some of them do, and from this, I wouldn't be confident. So I think it's a bit of preseason bait there. Yeah, let me know what you think on that one, because I could be completely off the mark, but just from watching it, that's what I arrived at pretty quickly. I mean, you can't have a ruckman scoring 14 points and a half and expect, certainly not at that price. It's different if it's like a McAndrew or someone, which, man, I'll cover him later. He was good, but you know, this guy's 200k more, so you need more out of him. And yeah, I guess last thing I'll say is he's gone 46 in a quarter or whatever I said, and he's ended up on a 78. So you'd think in a game where he gets that much in one quarter, you're going to be looking at probably one of his top end kind of scores. If 78 is the top end, then nah, it's not near it. And we know that Marshall and DeConning, they're not the hardest rucks to score on either. So yeah, it's a no from me, unfortunately. Yeah, I was excited like everyone else in that first quarter, but nah, it fizzled out quick. So Parrish, I didn't even really notice him. He's really in that, it won't surprise anyone, but he's kind of in that like Matt Crouch, Tom Mitchell kind of mold where, you know, once the contest is gone, he kind of just jogs away and waits for the next one. He's not really used in transition and stuff from what I can see. The good thing is though, his TOG was 76, and quite early on it was higher, like was running at a higher percentage. I think he sat more in the second half, but that's the difference between him and guys like Crouch. Ollie Wines is another one. They're the same kind of player, but they get a lot less time on ground because they're only there for the CBA. And even if Parrish isn't scoring all that much, like, sorry, not CBA, the stoppage, but even if Parrish isn't scoring all that much outside of stoppages, like, at least he's on the field. There is a possibility he's going to rack up those few extra points. So, yeah, it was all right. It's not, you know, it was a little bit of a worry that not noticing him and stuff, but definitely not enough to take him out of the team. I mean, you got to look at it from his point of view. He's just had that horrible injury run for the last few years, almost his whole career actually, but you know, he knows he's established in the team. He's not going to be running at 100% and pushing himself. I mean, disposal efficiency here, 48%. Not always great from him, but I mean, that's definitely like the lowest he gets. It doesn't really get much worse than that. And he's still got a 76. So I think he'll be all right. He's got the role. Unlike Blackston, we know he's got like that that scoring pedigree. So yeah, I think at the very least you're going to make 100k with him. Fiorini, I know he's not terribly popular as a pick, but it worried me. Like, I've got him in draft and stuff. It definitely worried me that he seemed to be spending so much time forward. I know he was technically playing on the wing, but he was definitely drifting forward and not really getting involved too much in the midfield. And if you've ever watched him play, you kind of know that he needs to get a lot of the ball to be scoring well. It's not like your Bont type that, 21 disposals is going to get a ton or, a 120. He gets 21 disposals, you're looking at a 70. So, yeah. Reed looked really good. He stood out for me for sure. I guess I'm biased because I like defenders. Like, when I played, I was one. But, yeah, always seemed focused on defenders. And Reed just looks, I don't know, there's something about the guy. He looks like he's going to end up like top 3 in the comp, I think, for key defenders. Don't know how that translates to Supercoach, but yeah, we saw last year when he's fit, he can score quite well. So 67 was a little bit disappointing from him, but yeah, maybe in the future. Sharp was better as the game went on. Well, he got better as the game went on, I should say. 15 touches in the end, but that pretty impactful, I thought. He was good, like 7 contested out of those 15 and, 80% efficiency here. It's going to get you a decent score. So what's he priced at? Like 140k, 149, something like that. 63. So he's still, even if he goes like 65, he's probably still going to make you enough. It's not like there's a whole ton of rookies now beating down the door that you must have in your team. So yeah, he's not like a bad pick. I don't think you have to have him, but I don't think he's he's not one you got to remove either if you want him. He'll only get better. It's just the role is not like the greatest, I think. He's kind of playing that like half forward kind of thing, some midfield time, but once he gets into the real deal and the big boys come back, and they really settle on who they want in there, probably less time for him. Farrow, pretty quiet, only 11 touches, although he did only play a half of the game. 52% game time. It's actually pretty good. But the problem is 52% game time. Do they see him in their team for round 1? I don't know. It's I'd be nervous if you're intent on picking him. He's meant to be like a half-back distributor, and he's only got 86 metres gain. That's interesting. 7 contested possessions. That's definitely not the kind of player I expected him to be. I didn't notice him in the game much at all. I mean, as I said, he played a half, but yeah, there's not much to go on from watching that. So I don't know. So we got Pryor here. He might end up falling into like that Pryor trap last year. I mean, he ended up being alright. I think he made enough money in the end, but man, it was a slow burn. So yeah, maybe it'll be like that with Farrow. There's not much else here. Achkar, is that how you say it? He had some glimpses of good stuff. I like the fact as well that he doesn't look like an AFL player. Like, he doesn't have that muscle tone that the rest of them have. And I mean that in a compliment. Like, I'm sure he's strong enough and everything, but he just looks like more of a normal guy, which is pretty cool to see. But yeah, I think that's it for that game. There's no one else here. Yeah, I'll move on to the Crom game now. So Josh Tracy, 5 goals straight. It's pretty good. I guess Fremantle just got on top in the midfield, which is no surprise given that the Crom were playing basically half strength if you look at this list, and missing some really key players. From what I can see, Fremantle were almost at full strength. Could be wrong, but I don't see many names missing there. Pearce, I don't think he played. No Luke Ryan, who I still think would be in their best 23, but they may have other ideas. What's going on with O'Driscoll as well? He's looked good like last year and stuff. Is he coming back from an injury, or is he just fallen out of favour or something? That's interesting. So anyway, from Supercoach sense, Hayden Young, this is more what we want to see, but it still worries me that he's spending that time forward. 75% game time, that's probably on the upper end for him, which is good to see. And yeah, this ratio here with the fantasy is pretty good, because normally I don't think he's that Doesn't score that high in fantasy, so that's a good sign. 6 tackles, 2 behinds. If they're goals, then he's going to 130 or something there. So yeah, good sign. That's got me. It's got me a lot more confident with picking him, because I'm starting to think that maybe you can't have him and Parrish. Like, I feel like the chances of both of them being successful it's fairly low, just given their injury history. I'm almost thinking like I want to upgrade one of them somehow and get like a Dacos in and just play an extra rookie on another line if there is one to pick. Erasmus, so like you can see here, and Reed, like the Fremantle midfield, they feasted because, you know, the Crom's so on demand at the moment, and we know their midfield's not the greatest at the best of times, so I wouldn't read into this too much. Reed did look bloody good though. I didn't notice Erasmus, but you know, he obviously played that kind of inside role with the 11 contested possessions. Reed is like next level good for a rookie. It kind of reminds me of a Ninja Turtle out there with the purple headband and stuff, but yeah, 30 disposals. Is he going to break out? Quite possibly. It's the second year thing, so I think he's either going to go backwards in terms of Supercoach scoring, as you know, the old second year blues, or stay where he is, or he's going to make a massive jump. I don't think there's going to be like a 5 or 10 point jump. It's either going to be around the same, or it's going to be nothing. Or it's either going to be big, like a 20 point jump in average. Just a feeling, nothing to really base it on, but yeah, he did look good. Clark kicking that long goal, that was pretty nice. I didn't know he could actually kick that far, but yeah, 94, he's got the role. He's just, you know, he does it all back there. So pick with confidence, 18 disposals, you know, whatever. He knows his spot in the team, like Parrish, like they're established. They're not going to be running around risking a hamstring or anything in the final practice game. Sarong as well, you know, didn't really need to get out of first gear. Mason Cox was interesting, so I guess he was only up against McAndrew, and it's probably going to be easier to score on a guy like McAndrew because he's a bit skinnier and he's new. They're roughly the same height as well, so yeah, I think Cox might actually go alright with these new rules. How much is he priced at? So he's 226k. If I had to guess, I don't think Shrek, even if he's fit, is getting back in this team. I think they're going to play Cox and Jackson. It's a lot more dynamic. We can already see with the new rules that these tank ruckmen are already old-fashioned. They're out. Someone like Rob has completely lost his spot, and Rob is better than Shrek. Unpopular opinion for some, but Shrek's living off past glory. He's not what he was, and that's when he's fit even. So I think, yeah, they're going to run with Cox and Jackson if I had to guess. And Cox, obviously, I would actually choose Cox over Blackston if you want a controversial opinion. But yeah, new rule should suit him, and he's a fair bit cheaper, like 70k cheaper, so doesn't have to score as much either. But I reckon he actually could piss in an 80 average if he's going to keep this role. They seem pretty intent on Jackson playing that midfield kind of thing, which I don't understand it. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, I think he's wasted, but yeah, if they're going to persist with it, I think Cox actually could be a go, and that's really bizarre to say. I never thought there'd be a world where Cox would get discussed for Supercoach, certainly not in my own opinion. But here we are, and he's got forward DPP, so, oh man, it's actually got me thinking, because I am pretty bloody confident that they're not going to play Shrek. He's going to get left on the scrap pile now, like a lot of those tank rucks. Oh man. Oh no, what am I doing? Yeah, Bolton, whatever, don't look at him. Jackson, so 76 Supercoach. Yeah, I don't see it. If he's not the number one ruck, I just don't see why there's so much interest in him as a pick, even if he's a midfielder. You got to remember, like, just because he's in the midfield doesn't mean he's going to score better. I don't see how he, as a ruck, is going to outscore some other actual midfielder at the same price point. I just can't see it. Like, I know, obviously, he's going to spend some time in the ruck, so there's points he can score when he's in the ruck. We know that. But yeah, the rest of it, it's not his suited position. So I don't understand the logic on that one so much. But by all means, pick him because, you know, I want to rank well this year. So, Brayshaw is 69. Like, who cares? He's going to be fine. He's still got the role and stuff. I haven't seen the CBAs and that, but, you know, when push comes to shove, he's going to be in there. We know that. It's fine. I was hoping McVee might be a bit more attacking in that, but I think he's going to play a bit more of a lockdown, probably free up Clark even more. So, yeah, that's interesting. But, yeah, McVee was one that I kind of thought when he was at Melbourne, like one season soon, he might be, I don't know, he might break out or something. But, yeah, it doesn't look like he's got the role. Not Supercoach wise, but Frederick, man, he was impressive. 10 touches, but it seemed like he was real dangerous on that rebound. He's so quick. There's not really anything else here, I think, for Fremantle. Nah. So I get to the Crom, and I promise I'll try and keep it short because I can definitely get off on a tangent with the Crom. Worrell looked really good again. Definitely an attractive pick. I think we know what he's like when the ball is in defence a lot, and given Crom's midfield woes, we saw it in the 2 finals last year, and he scored really well. And I think that's probably going to continue for a little while with all the injuries and stuff. Yeah, I am seriously considering Worrell now. Miller looked good as well. Again, everyone's talking about like Cook being the distributor. I don't see it. I think if anyone, it's Miller. I reckon the coaches might be playing a bit of some kind of game here in the media when they're saying about it being Cook or Nankervis. Nankervis was all right, but I just see Miller as he's the distributor out of there. Well, that's what it looks like to me. So, yeah, the stats kind of back it up here. I mean, I know he's not a world beater when the real season comes around and stuff, but he's looked pretty good in pre-season. And if they are looking for that distributor type, as they said they are, my money's on it being him, not Cook. Not Nankervis. So, yeah, Cook was up on the wing anyway, I think. He scored a nice goal. Yeah, Laird is like Worrell as well. So, when the ball's down there, he scores well. And he also had a really good average in the finals. But he did get CBAs as well. I'm wondering whether they actually, in round 1, if they just revert back to Laird in the middle, if they want to try and win the game. Like, I know looking to the future and stuff, it seems counterproductive to put him in there given that he's 32 and stuff. But if Crom think they're in the window, which I'm pretty sure they think they do, and they are, then yeah, you'd be trying to win every game. So you just chuck Laird in there, I think. He's still our best inside mid, really. But yeah, as a pick, I don't know. I feel like he's really flying under the radar, especially for the fact that he's got no bye. So I've really got my eye on Worrell and Laird. Not so much Miller, even though he does seem to have that good role. But yeah, those two. I'll get back to you on that one. Yeah, Dawson was fine. Still got the same role. He's going to be the main man in the midfield. We know that. So not much to say there. Pedler looked really good. 3 goals. Oh, he's looking really good, just in general. He was great against Port as well, I thought. He's 240k, and I could be getting swayed by being a Crom supporter, but at 240k, there is worse picks, I think. He's still going to have low gains, but he doesn't actually have to average that much to make enough money to be successful. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think he's going to average like 85 or something like that, but what if he went 75 or something, which is probably doable if he's playing that high kind of half forward role at times. You know, maybe he could make the money. I don't know. It's going to depend on rookies. If there's enough rookies available, then you wouldn't even look at him. But yeah, who knows? Like I say, rookies dictate structure, and you don't want to be letting your structure dictate who you pick. It's got to be the other way around. Keys could end up with some midfield time early as well, I think. I know he's tagged Dacos before, but long term, nah, it's not nothing to look at. So McAndrew, obviously, he's locked into like everyone's team now. He looked good. He took a while to get into it, but 33 hitouts against a guy that's the same size as him. That was impressive. one of my worries about McAndrew was that he's just really tall, and when he comes up against someone else that's really tall, he's probably not, well, not probably not, but may not be able to score because we just haven't seen it yet. And yeah, they don't get any bigger than Cox, and McAndrew's still got 33 hitouts. So yeah, and this here, is this 7 to advantage on this page? I don't know. There's no legend, but yeah, that's the most on the field. Certainly going to be a better ratio than Rob anyway. So yeah, maybe the Crom midfield might pick up a little bit. They haven't looked too bad, considering they're so undermanned today. I'd say McAndrew's definitely having an influence. If he averages 90 at the lowest, like, he's going to make a ton of cash. So yeah, just lock him in. 69% game time too. It looks like they gave, what's his name? Murray more time. So 53% game time. I thought, particularly at the start, it looked like Murray was doing more of the ruck work in the first quarter, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe McAndrew just can't play anywhere else. They're not confident with him forward. I don't know. See what happens when Thilthorpe's back in. But again, if I had to bet, I would say that they want to keep Thilthorpe forward more. I think this midfield experiment thing's not really going to last. I don't think there's... Again, they might be just playing games in the media. And yeah, today... who's the footy boss? I forget his name. Something Kelly, maybe? He's yeah, anyway, he came out and said that they see McAndrew and Murray as their 1-2 duo for round 1. And yeah, I think I called that like a week ago. I said Murray would, if I had to guess, I thought he would be playing round 1 because he looks really good in that role. Like, he gets forward. He's had the 2 shots on goal here. He's good around the ground, I think. And yeah, he's good R2 for the Crom, and that means Thilthorpe gets to stay forward when he's not in this weird midfield experiment. So yeah, good things at the Crom for rucks and stuff like that. Yeah, Rochelle looked good. This is what you want from him. If you're going to pick him, if he's getting scores like this, that's absolutely fine. He doesn't need a hell of a lot of ball either, as you can see. 18 touches here and a goal. Yeah, pretty crafty character. So I'm not picking him myself. And I didn't see anything that absolutely screamed I have to pick him either, so he's not on my team. But if you're going down that road, I do actually think it's probable that he's going to work out to be good for you. Yeah, so Bond as a kid with an 83, but he's more of a lockdown defender, so you know he's not always going to score like that. I wouldn't look there. Nankervis was all right. Pity he's priced a bit higher. This was good to see. Edwards in the midfield there. He's one for the future. I don't think he's going to get too many games like when all the cavalry come back, but who knows? He might. If Nix gets fed up with the way the midfield is, who knows? I can very easily see like Berry getting out on his ass and Edwards coming in, because the fans are going to be rabid if Berry's in bad form and guys like Dowling and Edwards and that aren't getting a run. Tex is amazing, by the way. Like, I know he got three points here, but if you saw the win, you'd understand why. His ability to find space and stuff is ridiculous. Like, his hands are still really good. Not a Supercoach pick, obviously, but yeah, Cook 56. I'm not seeing it. I don't think he's a pick. He's also because he's not like a first year rookie or anything. I think he's about 150k. So, nah, I'd go elsewhere. I think, as I said, Murray pretty good. He's probably a pick in the forward line, to be honest. He doesn't have ruck DPP, but I think he'll get it at the earliest chance. I don't think there's that many viable rookies in the forward line. So, you know, going into it today, Finn McRae was in my team in the forward line, just basically because I hadn't changed things around in a while. But yeah, I took him out, and Murray is currently sitting at F8 for me. And yeah, he's priced well. He doesn't have to score too much to make you the money. Might be a slow burn, but I think he's got pretty good job security. Rob was apparently best on in the reserves trial against Norwood. I think he may have been rucking against who's the guy for St Kilda last year? Harry Boyd, if he's gone back to Norwood. I'm not sure, but you know, he's no slouch at sample level. But yeah, I mean, there's always going to be that danger that Rob is kind of breathing down their neck, but I think they've moved past him, as most teams have done. They've moved past the tank ruck kind of thing, and Rob can't jump. We all know this. I think if Richmond had a ruck that they could swap out for Nankervis, they'd do it as well, but unfortunately they don't. They've got no one that's really put their hand up. So yeah, Murray looks good at F8. I think is pretty safe. I feel like Nix hates Dowling. They played like 56% game time here, 12 touches, 41 Supercoach. He should be getting a run. I think he's got great potential, but Nix, for some reason, he loves to persist with the same old guys over and over. And Dowling could be a really good pick for Supercoach, I think, one day, but not until Nix gets the hell out of the way. Yeah, I think that's about... Oh, no, that's not it. Chase Jones. This was not good. Now, at the end of the game, when I looked at the stats, because I hadn't noticed him all game, and I thought, did he even play? And I saw that he only had the 5 touches and 34 Supercoach. I thought, oh, well, maybe he only played like limited minutes or something. Then I saw 79% game time. That is shocking. I know when you're on the wing, you get those games where it seems to go down the other side the whole day, but 5 touches, that's low even for that. You got Lockie Scholl here that came on and only played just over a quarter, and he had more touches on a wing. So I don't know if you got to take him out your team, Jones, but I wouldn't be confident in picking him now, especially not when you've got, he's in direct competition with guys like Nankervis, who obviously was better. Cook was better. I don't know if he gets a gig. As soon as, let's say that Nankervis and Cook are ahead. If one of Hinge or Cumming is fit, that's it. Jones is gone. I don't think you can pick him. Not after that. Surely the Crom aren't going to look at that favourably and think, he's good for round 1. And then, obviously Thilthorpe, he missed the game. He was a late out. He just had like the smallest tweak in his back or something like that, apparently from the plane ride over. So I wouldn't be worried at all. I mean, what were they going to gain by playing him anyway? Who cares? We've seen what he does. Nothing to worry about. I still think he's a good pod pick, actually. I had him last year, and I'm not picking him this year, not to start, but he'll be one of the first upgrades I look at in the forward line, I think. I think he's going to go huge. And again, unpopular, and you can dislike my videos all you want, but I think he's going to out-average Darcy. So I've rambled on about the Crom too long now. We're up to 37 minutes. Sorry about that. I intended to keep it short, but you know what it's like when you're a passionate supporter of a club. Just think of it as, educated intel or something. Maybe not, but you get what I mean. So interested to hear in the comments again where you're at, what you've seen with these players in the 2 games today. Has it swayed you on anyone? The comments were really good last night. And then, also, who are you looking at for tomorrow's 2 games? It can be. I think it can be a little bit overwhelming if you don't make a list of players to watch. You kind of forget when you're watching the game. You fall into spectator mode. So, definitely worth making a list. I should probably take my own advice tomorrow. But that's all I've got. I think it's more than enough. You're probably sick of me by now. So as usual, thanks for watching, and I'll do another one of these tomorrow night, and hopefully it's shorter. So I'll catch you in that one.